So, I don't normally comment on these types of things. I don't normally get into this kind of, bullshit, but this one really irked me. I'm sure a lot of you will have heard by now. Roger Waters, ex-Pink Floyd. I love Pink Floyd. That's part of why I'm annoyed with this as well. He's been talking shit about Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath. Now, there's a couple of reasons. As I said, I love Pink Floyd. I think Pink Floyd are a fantastic band. I absolutely adore Pink Floyd. Well, some Pink Floyd. Most of the earlier stuff. I also worship Black Sabbath. Ozzy, of course, recently passed away. And let's just... we'll start out with what... With what Roger Waters. We'll find out what Roger Waters had to say. Apparently, he was recently speaking to the Independent Inc. podcast, in which the Pink Floyd legend spoke about how pop culture figures can distract people from important political issues. While role-playing as an unspecified person of power, he imagined how the nefarious process might work. How can we push this to one side? I know how we do it. We'll do it with Taylor Swift or Bubblegum or Kim Kardashian's bum. So he's talking about, I guess, how easily we're manipulated, I guess, by, influencers and all that, which is fair enough. But then he switches out of character, then brought Osbourne into the conversation. Or Ozzy Osbourne, who just died, bless him, in his whatever that state that he was in for his whole life. We'll never know. Although he was all over the TV for hundreds of years with his idiocy and nonsense. Now, of course, you're allowed to have your opinion on someone, but this is literally weeks after the guy has died, and he's got no real reason to bring him into the conversation here. Most likely this is him taking a swipe at Sharon, because I know they have very conflicting political views, which is fair enough. Everybody's entitled to their views. They're entitled to their opinions. But he's bringing Ozzy into it for no particular matter. Attacking Ozzy's music. The music, I have no idea. I couldn't give a fuck. I don't care about Black Sabbath. I never did. I have no interest in bleh. Apparently he stuck his tongue out almost like Gene Simmons while he was doing that. And biting the heads off chickens or whatever they do. I couldn't care less. I think what pisses me off the most about this is as I said, I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan. I'm a die-hard Black Sabbath fan. They gave us so much. Black Sabbath gave so much. They were the true working class band. They really were. They were talking about, like War Pigs, they were talking about that stuff back in the day when you get the shit kicked out of you for saying stuff like that, for standing up against the war. They were true working class heroes. Now, there's no need for him to bring Ozzy into this. As I said, it's probably more likely, Sharon that he's got the issues with. But I think what really gets me about this is the whole... As metalheads, we're always the outsiders. We're always the maligned. We're always the ones that people kind of look at and judge us harshly for no real reason. And there's parts of this that really kind of just remind me of that. The disrespect to Black Sabbath and metal in general, that it's not... The underlying, despite... Other than the absolute disrespect to Ozzy Osbourne here, the underlying thing that he's saying here is that basically metal music and Black Sabbath in particular has no value in terms of music. And it's just such bullshit. There are millions of people over the world who completely disagree with you, you little twat. I think that's what really got me about this one more than anything, because we're all used to that. We're all used to being judged for the shirts that we wear and the music that we listen to, and it's never seemed to be, I never got popular culture. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I've been shunned my own. In many ways, for me, it's self-exile. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's an alternative. That's why a lot of our music is in the alternative vein as well. It is an alternative to the mainstream, and it is valid. Anyone who listens to Tony Iommi's amazing riffing, I appreciate Black Sabbath and his playing. The older I get, the more I appreciate it. What Tony was doing with the guitar, how he lost his fingertips and relearned how to play, and in the same time invented a whole new style that became a huge genre and subgenre. Bill Ward's incredible drumming, Geezer Butler's fantastic bass lines and amazing lyrics. War Pigs, man. Seriously, listen to War Pigs. You telling me those lyrics don't mean something? Fuck you. And Ozzy, Ozzy doesn't get enough respect for the melodies that he brought along. So this one really got me. Fucking Roger Waters hasn't been relevant for a very long time. Absolute dipshit. I can't remember when it was that did he leave Pink Floyd or was he kicked out? I don't even know. I lost interest in the fucker years ago. Pink Floyd have done a lot of good stuff without Roger Waters. Roger Waters, in my opinion, hasn't done shit worth talking about for decades. Sabbath have always been relevant. Pink Floyd are always relevant. I'm not taking anything away from Pink Floyd. This is Roger Waters I'm talking about. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Ozzy's solo stuff, he's had an incredibly successful solo career. And Black Sabbath even come back with 13 not so long ago and did so it's a killer album. They've been touring and still kicking ass, and it just really fucking annoys me. However, I was actually quite happy to see a response from Jack Osbourne though later on, where he hit back on Instagram. Hey Roger Waters, fuck you. How pathetic and out of touch you've become. The only way you seem to get attention these days is by vomiting out bullshit in the press. My father always thought you were a cunt. Thanks for proving him right. Fucking great. Nice one, Jack. I do like that. I like that one a lot. I'm seriously annoyed. I'm seriously pissed off. I don't care about Black Sabbath. I never did. I have no... I've got, if you're not interested in a band, that's fine. It's just this shitty fucking way of doing it, you twat. The thing that pisses me off is just kind of needless. You know what I mean? A lot of you might be thinking, hang on, that's a bit hypocritical. Aren't you the guy who puts out all sorts of videos about bands he hates? Yes, I do. And anyone who's actually watched them knows that I don't actually really hate any of them. Do you know what I mean? And also, I'm not Roger Waters. Roger Waters surely has better things to fucking do than, putting down Ozzy weeks after he died for no reason. There was no need for him to be a twat about it. He could have chose his words and just said something different. You know what I mean? There's times to say things. And then completely discredits Black Sabbath and their contributions to music. Fucking asshole. Apparently Jack followed up with a second post, added the hashtag fuck Roger Waters. Nice. I'm not going to lie, I'm in a bad mood today and I needed to vent. But this did piss me off. This genuinely did annoy me when I heard about this. It's just needless. There's no need for it. Metal is an incredibly valid art form that brings joy to millions of us. Millions of us who want something different to the bullshit that we're fed every day. The mainstream shit. How many of you grew up and were at school and just didn't get, the popular crowd? It's not because you weren't good people. It's not because you couldn't fit in. It's because you didn't fucking want to. Didn't want to be a part of the fucking system. Roger Waters it just annoys me how much he comes across. He likes to come across as this edgy fucking... fucking hell. Annoyed me. Shouldn't have annoyed me as much as it did. But it did. It really did fucking annoy me. Let me know your thoughts on this one. R.I.P. to Ozzy. I know a lot of it as well as also down to the fact... Ozzy's death genuinely hit me harder than I thought it would. You know what I mean? It's sort of something that, everyone was expecting for a little while, but it still knocked me for six when it happened. Just like Brent Hines as well. I'm still raw on that one. So just hearing somebody like him doing this for no reason, for no discernible reason, it just pissed me off. So I felt I had to say something about it. I could have done it more intelligently. I could have thought more about it. But then if I had a thought about it, I probably wouldn't have done anything. So I just wanted to say, fuck you, Roger Waters. Really? I still love Pink Floyd, though I don't like anything you've done, to be quite honest, you miserable dour cunt. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe he reminds me of me. They always say that you dislike people who are, like you. Wow. I think we've uncovered something there, people. Anyway, that'll do. I'll catch you soon. I'll have another hate-filled video for you in a couple of days, so see you then.